I used to brag that I didn't believe in ghosts. I used to laugh at people who said their house had a feeling. I don't laugh anymore. I moved into a renovated duplex on the edge of town 6 months ago. It was a steel, old hardwood floors, a clawfoot tub, and a landlord who was a little too eager to sign the lease. I should have asked why the previous tenant left in the middle of the night. But I didn't, because I'm an idiot. Now I sleep with every light on. I have a deadbolt on my bedroom door that I installed myself. And I have a composition notebook that I found hidden behind the water heater that I desperately wish I had never opened. Because here's the thing about haunted houses. You think the rules are for you. You think if you just don't summon anything or don't use a Ouija board, you'll be fine. But what if the rule book was written about you? What if the ghost already knows your schedule? For the first 3 weeks, it was perfect. I worked from home as a graphic designer, so my schedule was chaos. Some nights I'd be up until 3 a.m. editing. Some afternoons I'd nap for 4 hours. There was no pattern. The first weird thing was the temperature. My bedroom would be freezing, like visible breath freezing, while the rest of the house was a comfortable 72 degrees. I blamed the old windows. Then it was the floorboards. Specifically, the spot right outside my bedroom door. It would creak at 2:17 a.m. every single night. Not footsteps, just one long, slow creak, like someone shifting their weight. I'm a logical person. I set up my phone to record that spot on the floor. The next morning, I watched the video. At 2:17 a.m., the floorboard depressed on its own. Nothing was standing there, but the wood bent downward, as if a very heavy person was leaning on one foot. I told my friend Derek about it. He joked I had a ghost with a bad back. I laughed it off, but that night I found the book. I was trying to fix a rattling noise in the water heater closet. I pulled off the access panel, and behind a layer of dust and insulation, I found a spiral notebook. The cover was blank. The pages were yellow. Written in neat, blue ink on the first page were 4 words: the rules for staying. I almost threw it away. I thought it was a prank from the old tenant. I didn't read it until 1 a.m. the next morning, when the sleep paralysis hit. I woke up completely frozen. I couldn't move my fingers, I couldn't open my mouth. I could only stare at the corner of my ceiling. And there in that corner was a shape. It wasn't a shadow. Shadows don't move like that. It was like someone had taken a blanket of static and draped it over a person. I blinked and it was gone. As soon as I could move, I grabbed that notebook. The first page was a diagram of my apartment. Not the apartment layout from the rental listing, my layout. My couch, my desk, even my coffee mug on a nightstand was drawn as a little circle. Under the diagram, there was a list, handwritten. It said, Rule 1, do not sleep with your back to the closet door. Rule 2, if the bathroom light flickers twice, recite the tenant's name. Rule 3, do not answer the door for the man with the yellow hat. Rule 4, the previous occupant will always return at 2:17 a.m. Do not look at the floor. Rule 5, if you hear your mother's voice, she is lying. My blood turned to ice water. I never told anyone my mom passed away 5 years ago. I flipped to the second page. The handwriting changed. It was messy, panicked. He learns your routine. I stayed still for 3 days. Don't move. Don't breathe loud. Page 3 was just a drawing. A stick figure lying in a bed. A second figure standing at the foot of the bed, with no face, holding a key. I should have left. I should have walked out the front door and never come back. But have you ever felt a presence that wants you to run? Like running is the trigger? I decided to test the rules. That night at 2:15 a.m., I sat up in bed and faced the closet. I refused to look at the floor. The air dropped 30 degrees. I heard the creak, right on schedule. But this time, because I wasn't looking down, I noticed something else. The mirror on my closet door. The reflection didn't show my room. It showed a hallway I didn't recognize. Long, paneled wood, flickering lights. And at the end of that hallway, a figure was walking toward me. Slow, measured. It was wearing my bathrobe. I broke Rule 4. I looked down. There were footprints on my floor. Wet footprints, leading from the bedroom door to the foot of my bed. They were size 12 men's boots. I wore size 9 women's. I grabbed the notebook. Page 7 was empty except for one sentence. It knows your name now. A cold whisper came from directly behind my head. Not in my ear, behind my skull. It said my full name. My middle name. A name I have never typed into a computer, never told a coworker, a name that only exists on my birth certificate in a safety deposit box. I screamed. I threw my lamp at the mirror. The glass shattered, and the hallway and the reflection ripped like tearing paper. The figure stopped walking. I ran to the front door, but Rule 3 popped into my head. Do not answer the door for the man with the yellow hat. I looked through the peephole. There was no one on my porch, but there was a yellow construction hat sitting on the welcome mat. Just the hat. And it was steaming like someone had just taken it off. I grabbed my keys and climbed out the kitchen window instead. I landed in the bushes and sprinted for my car. I didn't look back. I drove to a 24-hour diner 3 towns over and sat there until sunrise. The next morning, I went back with Derek. I needed a witness. We walked in. The apartment was normal, warm, quiet. The shattered mirror was still on the floor. The notebook was still on the bed. But when I opened the notebook, the pages were blank. All of them. Every rule, every drawing, every warning gone. Just white, empty paper. Derek said I was sleep deprived. He said I had a psychotic break. He helped me pack a bag, and I stayed on his couch for a week. Here's why I'm telling you this story. Here's why you can't just dismiss this as carbon monoxide poisoning or a bad dream. Last week, I got a new apartment across town. Different street, different landlord, 3rd floor, no closet in the bedroom. I thought I was safe. Last night, I woke up at 2:17 a.m. Not because of a dream, because my phone buzzed. It was a text from my own number. A text I didn't send. It said, "You forgot Rule 6. I never saw a Rule 6. It wasn't in the book, but I felt it. A weight at the foot of my bed. Heavy. Breathing. I didn't move. I didn't look. I just whispered, 'I know your name too.' The weight vanished. The room got warm again. I thought I had won. But when I woke up this morning, there was a yellow construction hat on my kitchen counter. And written on my bathroom mirror in lipstick, my lipstick, were the words, 'The rules apply to every house. You brought me with you. The police won't help. The landlord thinks I'm crazy. The only evidence is a blank notebook.'" I don't know how to end this video except to say, if you move into a cheap place, check behind the water heater. And if you find a list of rules, don't read them. Because the scariest thing isn't a ghost breaking the rules. It's a ghost that learned yours. She hasn't slept in 6 days.